Okay, I feel like I have to explain this, but Star Fox 64 is one of my favorite video games of all time. It's just pure spaceflight goodness. It's just pure strategy, and you can complete it in about an hour if you know what you're doing. Of course, that's after you've died many, many times trying to take it down before. But it's still, to this day, one of my most replayed games of all time. And one of my biggest disappointments is Nintendo has never released a proper follow-up to Star Fox 64. Every single time they've released a new Star Fox game, they've had to water it down somehow, either by messing with the controls or messing with the gameplay so that you spend most of the game outside of your ship and doing other things other than what Star Fox is good at, which is flying spaceships around a planet setting and shooting things in high-energy action. Well, I'm proud to announce that there is a spiritual successor out there to Star Fox 64. A game that feels like it to the extent that I believe on the Switch there are Star Fox levels available. That game is Starlink. And I think this game has gone down to low sales because the producers of it unwisely decided to tie it into the collectible toys as that unlock parts of the game fad. And that turned out to be a bad decision, if you ask me. They should have just released it fine. Here's the thing, though. With what you get with the starter pack, you can beat the full game. You don't have to buy anything extra to beat the full game. This game, it just plays smoothly. There is a plot, but just like in Star Fox, it's a basic science fiction plot. You're basically crash landed on an alien planet, and everything is hostile to you, and you have to defeat the hostile things flying around your ship, and go around. And here's the thing: while the ships do plug into a mount on your controller, they are well designed because they do stay out of your way while playing, and after a few minutes I found myself getting used to the weight change on the controller. One thing that was kind of weird at first was that movement is handled with the right analog stick, which of course is the opposite of how it's handled in pretty much every other game. However, again, after a few minutes, I got used to this. The frame rate is smooth, the combat is buttery smooth, and you do everything from your ship, from accepting missions to just exploring the planet to getting into fights. You just smoothly fly from one section to another of this vast open world. So yeah, and to unlock other things, you do have to buy the toys, which is annoying to me. Back in my day, you could unlock other ships and options like that in a spaceflight game just by playing it. However, other than that niggle, this is a great spaceflight game that, if you like the Star Fox series and have been missing all sorts of combat flight-based games, and I have, as somebody who grew up in the 90s when flight games were pretty much a big staple of every video game collection, the fact that they've been missing for almost 20 years from pretty much everything has been painful. The fact, but here, and that's the hole this fills. It's not the best game ever made, and having to tore it into toys, I think, was a huge mistake. However, if you want buttery smooth flight combat game that you can just pick up and play and then put down when you need to, say, go to work, this is the game for you. And the good news is that since it flopped in sales, you can pick it up on Amazon or anywhere else. You can pick up the full starter pack that has the full game and the baseline ship that you'll be using for about $25 on say Amazon or eBay or somewhere. So to me, this is well worth getting at that price. So yeah, I really wish it hadn't been tied into the collectible game thing, but it fills a huge void that's been in my gaming collection for a long time. And it really does feel like you're playing a polished successor to Star Fox 64. So yeah, this game gets an 8.5 out of 10 from me. It is just that good. So yeah, it may not have sold initially well initially, but go pick this up. There is no reason not to pick this up if you want a great game um, that allows you to shoot things from a spaceship. All right, thank you and goodbye.